It's damn close.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. The wheel is turning, but the hamster's dead.
Seriously? You guys gotta come up with a better name. Whatever. I'm not even getting paid for this show.
Broadcasting worldwide from his basement.
To the basement! 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 Up to the basement! To the basement! To the basement!
We've been cleared for takeoff.
You're listening to Tim Kelly
on Indie Country Radio.
Jesus, and always down to hear some Jones. That red dust on her blue truck makes her 1-ton, 2-tone. Loves midnight bareback ride, a little closer to the stars. It's like she stole those directions to heaven right out of my heart. Tell by her boots she's earned every buck, and tougher than the trouble she runs into. That girl's a cowboy, living out a crazy dream, getting closer now, still learning how to love just like me. Between what's real, it might be hard to say, but I know exactly just how she feels. That girl's a cowboy, you can tell by her boots. She's earned every buck, and tougher than the trouble she runs into. You're the one, you can have her hand, just understand. That girl's a cowboy, you can tell by her roots. She's earned every buck, and tougher than the trouble she runs into. That girl's a cowboy, living out her crazy dreams, getting closer now, still learning how to love just like me. Getting closer now, still learning how to love one like me.
The doctor is in the house, and I tell you, sometimes I need a doctor. Mr. Doc West from Houston, Texas, and That Girl's a Cowboy. Before that, If She Wanted To. Two great songs from one great artist, and we'll have another one coming up here in just a little bit because it is Triple Play Thursday. Welcome to today's country. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. We are Indie Country Radio. New country's best music is what we play, and we're going to do it 3 times in a row today. We did it on the Rise and Shine show with Miss Brenda Corbin. I'm going to do it again. And I'm also going to have a great radio interview with Mr. Jeremy Parsons from San Antonio, Texas. So it's going to be a fun show today. Y'all get on your social media. Tell everybody Indie Country Radio, Today's Country with Tim Kelly, is live on the air right now. Just go to Spreaker.com, search Indie Country Radio at the top in that little gray box, and you can also see our live chat room on there as well. Come in and say hello. We got Shanna in here in just a little bit. We're going to play one of her favorite artists, Mr. Ty March, so stay tuned for that. One more from Mr. Doc West. This is a great rodeo theme song, A Whole Lot of Bull it's called. You'll hear some of that on my show too, right here on Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best. It's Triple Play Thursday.
He's a ton of muscle, branded fur, blood, hooves, and bones. By the way, his eyes locked on me, well, he don't like me none. He's never given up 8 seconds, don't like cowboys on his back. When the hand pulls that gate, man, it's the only fun he'll ever have. He's kicking up that arena dust and out of the cloud. He's the only one standing. It's a hard day's work, and damn it hurts. These broken bones, they forever mending. When the gate is pulled, it's a whole lot of bull. He comes from a long line of bronco living hell. Many Stetson hats took his buck before they fell. And every rodeo generation got the same spell that can't be broke. It's addiction, it's adrenaline when they pull that rope. He's kicking up that arena dust and out of the cloud. He's the only one standing. It's a hard day's work, and damn it hurts. These broken bones, they're forever mending. When the gate is pulled, it's a whole lot of bull. It's a whole lot of bull. He's kicking up that arena dust and out of the cloud. He's the only one standing. It's a hard day's work, and damn it hurts. These broken bones, they're forever mending. When the gate is pulled, yeah, when the gate is pulled, it's a whole lot of bull. It's a whole lot of
It's time for today's newest country music, Indie Country Radio, with Tim Kelly.
A little backwoods romance, baby. Small town trying to save me. Ain't nothing they could do.
Oh, hell no. Don't you worry, baby.
I've been throwing rocks at your window. Let's go. 5 minutes till I'm going solo. Get on them dancing boots.
Giddy up, girl. Let's go.
Yeah, baby, in the summertime, we do whatever we like. Yeah, baby, in in the summertime, we can do whatever we like. Yeah, baby, the school's out, girl, I can't stop thinking. Blanket on the ground by the riverbank drinking. We can do whatever we like in the summertime. That's right, baby. Yeah. We've been kissing drunk around a bonfire party, still buzzing in the back row Sunday. Yeah, I think Mama knew. She had to have known. Yeah, baby, in the summertime, we can do whatever we like. Yeah, baby, in the summertime, we can do whatever we like. Yeah, baby, the school's out, girl, I can't stop thinking. Blanket on the ground by the riverbank drinking. We can do whatever we like in the summertime. A shot of tequila, whatever you're feeling. We could be like Jack and Rose, making out up on the boat. Yeah, with a little Jack in our Coke, ain't even gotta know. Summertime, we could do whatever we like. Yeah, baby, in the summertime, we could do whatever we like. In the summertime, we could do whatever we like. Yeah, baby, in the summertime, we can do whatever we like. Yeah, baby, in the summertime, we can do whatever we like. Yeah, baby, in the summertime, we can do whatever we like. Yeah, baby, the school's out, girl, I can't stop thinking. Blanket on the ground by the riverbank drinking. We can do whatever we like in the summertime. Yeah. Well, I'm free, baby. Yeah.
Man, I am so ready for summertime. How about you folks? Tired of that white stuff? They are calling for more here tomorrow night in Branson, Missouri. The center of the country, the live show capital of the world. Maybe 3 to 6 inches of the funny white stuff. I don't know about that. I think it's springtime myself. Mother Nature needs some Prozac. That's right. Mr. Ty March right there. Ty March Country on Facebook and Twitter. And a great tune called Summertime. Let's do it. I say we'll probably be complaining about the heat in a couple of months, though. That's just how it works, isn't it? Well, we're not complaining about the music. Everybody liking it. Everybody loading up into the chat room. Welcome once again to Today's Country with yours truly, Tim Kelly, right here on Indie Country Radio. We call today Triple Play Thursday. That means we play 3 songs from every artist in a live show, and we're going to keep doing it right now. We're going to have Mr. Jeremy Parsons coming up in a live radio interview shortly as well. Good stuff today. Can't wait. Mr. Ty March has a brand new single. It is called Forever. I love this ballad right here on Indie Country Radio, New Country's best.
Deeper than the ocean, stronger than a hurricane, carved out in an oak tree, baby, with a heart around our names. Even when our hair turns gray, you'll be beautiful to me. And if you ever wonder, baby, let me tell you how it's gonna be. My love is forever in a day. It'll never go away, like it's chiseled in stone, written in a love song. Moon and the stars and the sky shine bright together. My love for you is forever. My love for you is forever. Sundown sitting on a San Francisco bay. Never gonna die, never gonna run, never gonna go away. My love is forever in a day. It'll never go away, away like it's chiseled in stone. Written in a love song, moon and the stars in the sky shine bright together. My love for you is a hold on tight. Gonna get it right, gonna love you, baby, for the rest of my life. Moon and the stars in the sky shine bright together. My love for you is forever. My love for you is forever. Deeper than the ocean, stronger than a hurricane.
Tim in the morning. What does that mean?
Are you responsible for the strange sounds I heard emanating from my radio this morning?
We apologize for what he said.
Blah, 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 blah.
We have no idea. We're just making it up as we go along.
The guy's awesome.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
3, 2, 1.
Drop it.
Your station for new country now.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Today's country.
Pretty wild.
Broadcasting worldwide from his basement.
To the basement! 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 Up to the basement! To the basement! To the basement!
We've been cleared for takeoff.
You're listening to Tim Kelly on Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best.
Don't know how you went and did me out like that, girl. I ain't never felt like this before. Now I'm watching my heart bleed out here. Eyes glued to my iPhone, I can't ignore. I used to have my picture on the dashboard, but you ripped it off just like you did my t-shirt. On that first night that we locked eyes, you ended up in my bed. You grabbed on and your kiss felt like you wanted it so bad. Seemed like you wanted it so bad. But I was playing Mr. Right now while you were waiting on him to come around. I still remember the way you curves up the pillow, babe. But you had a plan inside your head and you just had to wait. How'd you put on such a good show? And what's he got for you that I don't get it. You were loving it so loud, bragging to all your friends about me. But I figured out that I was playing Mr. Right now till Mr. Right came around. Ain't a chance in hell that I would try to win this game now. So I'm gonna bail out and just walk away. I don't even have to know his name now that I know that you were never gonna stay. I was playing Mr. Right now while you were waiting on him to come around. I still remember the way you curves up the pillow, babe. But you had a plan inside your head and you just had to wait. How'd you put on such a good show? And what's he got for you that I don't get it. You were loving it so loud, bragging to all your friends about me. But I figured out that I was playing Mr. Right now till Mr. Right came around. A smile, then you fake a grin, cause you know I know exactly what's been happening. I was playing Mr. Right now while you were waiting on him to come around. I still remember the way your curves on the pillow, babe. But you had a plan inside your head. How'd you put on such a good show? And what's he got for you that I don't get it. You were loving it so loud, bragging to all your friends about me. But I figured out that I was playing Mr. Right now till Mr. Right came around. Till Mr. Right came around. Oh, I was playing Mr. Right now till Mr. Right came around.
His name is Ty March, Ty March Country, Facebook and Twitter. He used to be from the state of Texas. Now he is in Nashville, Tennessee, making that great country music. That is called Mr. Right Now. Well, right now it's time to tell the clean joke of the day. Then we'll get Mr. Jeremy Parsons in here in just a little bit. So this one's for Homer Corbin, Brenda's husband, and his cookie habit. What did the judge say to the dentist? Do you swear to pull the tooth, the whole tooth, and nothing but the tooth? And if you eat too many cookies, Homer, that's what's happening. Tooth pain is bad, isn't it? Well, there's nothing better than great country music. Let's put some more on the radio. Mr. John Wolfe, a former Song of the Week, Baby This and Baby That on today's Country from Indie Country Radio. New Country's Best, it's Triple Play Thursday.
Come home dragging weight of the world on my shoulders, girl, and all I know is I wanna cash out, shut it down, throw in the towel, 'cause I'm feeling low and I'm moving slow. But when she's all baby this and baby that, I'm like a runaway train running out of track. There ain't no holding me back when she's all baby this and baby that. When she's all come over here and give me a kiss, that look in her eyes, hands on her hips, I don't stand a chance when she's all baby this and baby that. It still sounds good, good morning, good night, and anything else those pretty lips say. She sounds like an angel cooking in the kitchen. I love to listen to the songs she sings, but it's a whole other thing when she's all baby this and baby that. I'm like a runaway train running out of track. There ain't no holding me back when she's all baby this and baby that. When she's all come over here and give me a kiss, that look in her eyes, hands on her hips, I don't stand a chance when she's all baby this and baby that. Yeah, my favorite thing in the world to see are those pretty brown eyes looking back at me, those pretty red lips I wanna kiss so bad, saying baby this and baby that. She's all baby this and baby that. I'm like a runaway train running out of track. There ain't no holding me back when she's all baby this and baby that. When she's all come over here and give me a kiss, that look in her eyes, hands on her hips, I don't stand a chance when she's all baby this and baby that. She's baby this and baby that. Every time she's baby this and baby that. Yeah, she's baby this and baby that.
Tim in the morning. What does that mean?
Are you responsible for the strange sounds I heard emanating from my radio this morning?
We apologize for what he said.
Blah, 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 blah.
We have no idea. We're just making it up as we go along.
The guy's awesome.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
3, 2, 1.
Drop it.
Your station for new country now.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Today's country.
Pretty wild.
Broadcasting worldwide from his basement.
In the basement! 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 Up to the basement! In the basement! In the basement!
We've been cleared for takeoff.
You're listening to Tim Kelly on Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best.
Took a jet, had a lease, so I left, bought a car that was fast, trying to get past her love. I can run, I can hide, I can drive, I can fly, but so far, it ain't far enough. There's a message message on my cell phone I can't erase. It's her and the sound of her voice that takes me back across 7 states. I guess the heart of the matter is I just can't forget her. She's like a ghost that haunts me everywhere I go. See her face on a billboard sign, see her name in the stars at night. She's that shadow in my dreams, always chasing me. I can't outrun her memory. Took it east, took it west to the beach where I sat in the sand, ran as far as a ways. Another town, another crowd, it's quiet when it's loud, but still her voice calls my name. Even if I was moving at the speed of light, I couldn't get away. Somehow I gotta face the fact that when I look back, it's hard to look away. I guess the heart of the matter is I just can't forget her. She's like a ghost that haunts me everywhere I go. See her face on a billboard sign, see her name in the stars at night. She's that shadow in my dreams, always chasing me. I can't outrun her memory. Her memory's beating in my heart like a drum I can't turn on. She's where I start worrying, she's back again, and she won't stop. I can't outrun her memory. I can't outrun her memory. I can't outrun her memory. I can't outrun her. I can't outrun her. I can't outrun her memory. I can't outrun her memory.
His name is John Wolf. He is awesome. He is from the state of Texas, and Jeremy Parsons knows him as well. We're having a good chat off the air. We're going to put Mr. Jeremy Parsons on the air right after one more from John Wolf. This is called Boots on a Dance Floor on today's Country from Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best on a Triple Play Thursday.
We're all wake up, shake it off, coffee strong, and hit the road. We're all racetrack, nothing but fast songs on the radio. It's a skyline changing, dirt road paving, damn sure better lock your door. We're a 40-hour grind, not counting overtime, but Friday night on the back porch, we're boots on a dance floor, birds on a wire, red on a barn door, ring on fire, cloud in a blue sky, rolling along, all free and easy, just like a song. In a world full of running and chasing down money, yeah, me and you were moving at our own pace, honey, like curves on an old Ford, like boots on a dance floor. About the time the sun's setting, we'll be getting where we want to be. You got a plan, got your hands in the back pocket pockets of my jeans. We got the full moon setting low, country gold radio coming through the window screen. When we find our feet, we don't miss a beat. That's the thing about you and me. We're boots on a dance floor, birds on a wire, red on a barn door, ring on fire, cloud in a blue sky, rolling along, all free and easy, just like a song. In a world full of running and chasing down money, yeah, me and you were moving at our own pace, honey, like curves on an old Ford, like boots on a dance floor. On a dance floor, birds on a wire, red on a barn door, ring on fire, cloud in a blue sky, rolling along, all free and easy, just like a song. In a world full of running and chasing down money, yeah, me and you were moving at our own pace, honey, like curves on an old Ford, like boots on a dance floor. You and me were like boots on a dance floor. Yeah, we're like red on a barn door. You and me were like curves on an old Ford. Yeah, we're like boots on a dance floor.
His name is John Wolf from the great state of Texas. Boots on the dance floor, and boy, they're good at doing that on a Friday, Saturday night. Well, probably any night of the week in the state of Texas. Lots of great venues to play down there, and he is absolutely a phenomenal artist, Mr. John Wolf. It's Jon, and Wolf has an E on the end of it. Follow him there on the big Twitter machine, as we call it. Well, we are glad to have another Texas artist from San Antonio, I guess you still are, Mr. Jeremy Parsons. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Even better when I get to talk to the artist. I love this time of day, and we're booked the rest of this week and all of next week, too, so I'll be talking to a lot of them, and we love that.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, I'm sure, I can't speak for everyone else, but I'm sure the feeling is overly mutual.
Yeah, exactly. I get excited about these interviews, and I hope you guys do too, because we talked off the air a little bit. You don't like to self-promote too much or talk about yourself, but we're going to do it for about the next 30 minutes, so get ready, all right?
Here we go. I'm strapped in.
Yep. Well, it said that you were born in San Antonio, Texas. You still live there?
I do not. I live in Nashville now.
Nashville, okay.
I try to make it back when I can, which isn't often enough, according to some people. But it's I stay pretty busy up here in Tennessee. They treat me well up here.
Absolutely. Well, how long have you been there?
On and off now for 9 years.
9 years. So you have seen that town grow, then, haven't you?
I have seen it. I've seen it explode, implode, flood, and do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. My first trip back there was in 2008. I was working with a buddy of mine. His son got a record deal, and he was going there to cut some music. And so we stayed for 3 weeks. I was drawing unemployment at the time, and he met this guy whose daughter was trying to get a record deal, and he owned a concrete company, and so he put us to work. We were staining concrete. You know, you mix that stain, and like they do in these new Walmarts on the floor and stuff, and it looks real cool. And we were spraying that on the concrete in some of the areas of downtown Nashville. And I'm sure after I left there, that flood came in a few months later, and I just know it was underwater, and I was like, probably ruined all of our work.
Yeah, you got your money and got out, though.
Yeah, we sure did. And, man, it got into the Grand Ole Opry Theater. They had to redo it. Lots of stuff got flooded there in Nashville. It was really bad.
Oh yeah, a lot of the musician gear was damaged too. That was one of the like Brad Paisley and Keith Urban. All their all those guys store all their stuff over at the rehearsal place SIR over here, and all that stuff got like all of Brad's like really cool custom fenders that he has like got flooded. Some of them got flooded out, but that was a thing, man, for sure.
I did not know that. Yeah, that was so terrible, and you know, it's just time they recover from all that. My story is, we didn't talk about this. I was in the Joplin, Missouri tornado. I live in Branson now, but 9 months later, I was in the Leap Day tornado in Branson that come right down the old 76 strip, and it went right over our heads. I survived both of those tornadoes after spending 20 years in southeast Oklahoma. I saw the lot of damage of a tornado. So I come to Missouri, and I've been in 2 tornadoes, so that's my story. So it's a good thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a good thing we're talking on the phone. You don't want to get too close.
Absolutely, yeah. We have a tornado season down here, so you just stay away from us, okay?
Yep. Well, and this weather's already getting crazy. They're talking about snow tomorrow night here in Branson, and it's springtime's already happened, and it just doesn't feel like it at all.
Hey, someone told me today it might snow down here too. Obviously, like we get a different type of snow than y'all get, but some wouldn't even call it snow, I guess. But.
Yeah. Crazy weather, I'll tell you. Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit how you got into country music. Now, I know Texas and Canada, believe it or not, are the 2 biggest places where we get our music from to play on this radio station. So you got some good country roots in the state of Texas, but was it a family thing? Did you grow up, your father and relatives playing music? How did that happen?
No, it was kind of just my dad really appreciated like traditional country. My mom was into music as well, but they never like, as far as singing goes, like they couldn't find a tune if you had like a gun to their head. But it was and I know that, so I don't mean that to be rude, but you stand next to someone in church growing up, hearing them try to sing, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But
in the times that we live in now, maybe that phrase isn't the best one to pick, but yeah, right.
yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, either that or it is overly timely.
Overly timely.
But yeah, no, it was just kind of a passion that found me. It was never anything that I really thought that you could do. I was just being a kid and growing up. I meet a lot of people up here be like, yeah, I've been singing since I was 4, and I'm like, dude, I didn't even I was like playing with sticks. Like, how the heck were you singing and stuff? Yeah, exactly. No, it's just I always loved music, and I in high school I kind of just found my way into it. My friends were doing other recreational activities that I didn't necessarily agree with, and I picked up a guitar instead, and it kind of found me, I guess, in a way.
Absolutely. Well, that's a good thing, and man, we're glad it did, because your music is great. I've been listening to a lot of it, preparing for this radio interview today, and I'm sure glad that we have you on this radio station, because the music, I believe, is what makes it sound good. It ain't me doing this on the radio, and by the way, I always wanted to be on the radio. I told an artist yesterday, and this is true, that when I was about 5 or 6 years old, I used to take a coffee can that was empty, one of those little bitty ones from Folgers, and I would talk into it like that was my microphone, and it was built-in reverb and all that good stuff. So.
Oh, you still can't really beat that sound unless you find the right restroom somewhere, and you're like, holy cow, this is where it's at.
Well, actually, you can beat that sound. You turn it over, and you got a pair of drumsticks. It's drums too.
Well, it depends. It depends on who's playing.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, and talking about doing this in high school, and a lot of people do this now. They use the technology that's out there. There's so many great technology apps and things that you can use to make music with now, and to produce and to do all this stuff with. I talked to our grandson, who's 17 years old in high school, and he said they're already learning Adobe Audition and all those different mixing programs that I use to mix for the radio station and edit audio. So that's a cool thing too, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I love that, man. And it's like, we need more that audio engineer mindset and stuff. The fact that they have classes at certain high schools where they offer like you said, the training for it and stuff.
Yeah.
And, we need all the audio engineers we can get, man. Those guys are more robot ears.
Absolutely.
I like that stuff.
Well, speaking of needing help, do you have a band put together? And if so, let's give a shout out to those guys. Or how do you play your music when you go out on shows?
Yeah, it's either I do have a band that I use, and it's comprised of my producer and pretty much his entire family. They're like these just like super wizards as far as instrument goes. My producer's name is Michael Flanders. He plays at the show. He plays pretty much everything but bass guitar, drums, and acoustic guitar. He plays slide. He plays lap steel, dobro, lead guitar, all sorts of stuff like
awesome.
Banjo or mandolin. Like he's just a masterful string wizard. He's a overly talented Australian man.
There you go, man. And that's another place that now that you mentioned it, Australia is big for country music. Brenda's last triple play today was from a good friend of mine, Mr. Doug Bruce from Australia. We got Christy Lamb, Tori Dark, just tons and tons of them. And of course, back in my day growing up, I liked the 80s style of music. I remember Olivia Newton-John, and she was even before the 80s. I think she was like in the 70s making her music. And,
she's
just
great. Beautiful, too.
Yeah. Yeah, and Christy Lamb, I had never heard her talk before. She just won a Country Music Channel Female Vocalist of the Year award, and she put a video of it together with her going up on stage and accepting her award, and I finally got to hear her talk because I love the way they sing. You don't hear that accent when they sing, just like Mel Tillis when he was here in Branson. You didn't hear the stuttering when he sang, but, it just gives you a totally different perspective of the artist when you hear him talk, like we hear you talk on the radio. I love the way you sing, though, too, man.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I love that. That Australian accent it's almost. I had to change my phone on Siri. You can change it to Australian, and I totally did that because it immediately calms me down. It's like nostalgic or something.
There you go. There you go. I need to get me an iPhone, but I'm afraid it would eat my wallet too while it's in the pocket.
Oh man, it's a little spy device. You give up a lot of your freedom when you buy an iPhone, for sure. But they're so convenient.
They're a little pricey right now, about $1,000 for a new one. I'm like, I cannot do that.
the X or the 10 or whatever that is. Yeah, I couldn't do it either, man.
Well, you're not a newcomer at country music either. As I look at your bio, you've been doing this for about a decade, and it says you've played all over the U.S. and Europe. What's it like playing over there in Europe?
Man, that's like one of my favorite questions to answer because I need to go back. I honestly haven't been back in I can't keep track of time, but it's been at least 4 years for me. It's awesome, man. They really love music. They love you. They want to hear stories. They want to know everything, and they're so attentive. It's like it's if they just discovered music and they're just fascinated by it.
Absolutely.
They just have an appreciation for it that, like, the same way that we do, like, appreciate what we get to do and who we get to talk to and stuff. Like, it's the same thing. It's amazing.
I have to agree because when I look at the statistics of the radio station and where we are played all over the world, because this is internet radio, so we're broadcasting to everywhere right now. And you look at the stats and you're like, man, that is pretty cool to have people from over there listening. We got France and Belgium and Germany and all over the place. The Federation of Russia listens to this radio station, and they must translate it somehow because I don't speak Russian and I know you don't sing it. So, it's pretty neat how they tune in to this radio station all over the world.
Yeah, it is really cool. It makes you wonder if they're just actually just listening to the music and the delivery or whatever, because that dialect thing is so different.
Yep.
It's cool, man. The power of music. My friends and I always joke about that.
Well, and that's very true. I lived in San Diego, California for 4 years, and you would go to these big, huge swap meets. And, of course, there's all these boom boxes for sale, to make your truck or your car sound a whole lot better and give you that thumping power. But they've got that Spanish music playing in every one of them, and there's some good Spanish music out there. I really got to liking it. And, of course, you hear it when you go eat Mexican food, too, and we do that quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, that stuff immediately, man. And, I grew up in San Antonio, so, I love when I used to go out to eat, there'd be mariachis on Fridays or Saturday nights.
Yeah.
And, that stuff just makes you want to move. Like the bass lines and stuff, you can't not snap your fingers or tap your feet. You know, it's catchy.
Right, absolutely. Well, let me ask you about in country music. Who would you say maybe as an artist was some of your biggest influences in music and why you wanted to do it? Who would a few names that you could throw out there be?
For sure, Hank Williams Sr., because honestly, that's like the first one I remember. I heard Kalijah as a child, and I just blew my mind. His voice was so, like, his delivery was so, like, he commanded you to listen to him, and it was just, his writing was next level. Like, who the heck writes about a wooden Indian? That's amazing.
Exactly.
Like, no one does that, man.
Right.
The gumption, you know?
Yep.
But, and I love, out of the newer guys, I'm really inspired by, like, Jason Isbell. He's an Americana artist, like, kind of like a new age, is a bold statement, like new age Bob Dylan. Like, I like the way Dylan writes and stuff, but sometimes I don't know what he's talking about. But Jason Isbell is like a clearer version of that for me, and I love his stuff. And of course, what Chris Stapleton is doing right now is so awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. He came out of nowhere, didn't he?
Oh, man, actually, well, see, that's the thing. If you talk to anyone in Nashville, like, he's been here for so long. Like, everyone's just been waiting for him to blow up.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, like, he's written so many songs behind the scenes that, like, you know, people don't know about. Like, for Thomas Rhett and Darius Rucker, you know, that he's got so many cuts, like, he's got George Strait cuts. It's really cool. Like, him getting to do his thing, like, the way that he's doing it now is perfect. It was almost like a worth the wait situation. But.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I'm in Branson, Missouri, the live show capital of the world, they say, and down here we've got a lot of tribute shows to those artists that you mentioned. There is one to Hank Williams Sr. A guy named Tim Hadler does it down here in Branson. He's absolutely Hank Williams, man. Just the looks. I mean, he's got it all down. And we got a guy I'm friends with that does a great George Strait tribute. We got a John Denver tribute. We got a Marty Robbins tribute show. I worked for the guy that does the Marty Robbins show for a year. I set up his lights and sound and ran all that and set up his stage. And so good shows here in Branson. So, yeah, a lot of good artists that you mentioned there that you pattern yourself after. But let me ask you this question. I told you off the air that I was going to ask you this today, and I haven't asked you yet because I want you to think about it for a second. You do a lot of shows, but what would be your dream gig? Who would you like to open with or in front of or perform with live on stage? Who would that artist be or those artists?
Well, any obviously I couldn't do the Hank Sr. thing. That would be a tough one to pull off.
Right. Well, I say living or dead, too. They could be that artist that have passed, so that's a good one. Yep.
Yeah, any of the guys that I mentioned, but like one guy that really has and I just forgot to mention him when you asked me, so this is perfect. Is John Prine. He's one of my favorite writers. He's I can't. I've listened to him since I was a kid, and he's always been like something that immediately calms me down, or like, you know, those days when you're just not, you know, the weather's bad, or you're just feeling like a crazy person, which a lot of us artists, that's, you know, every 30 minutes or so. But it's he's a guy that I can always go to, and like if I want to write, he makes you think. He's funny. It's this intellectual, just really cool delivery. It's like you're sitting down talking to your grandpa when you need to.
Yeah.
And I feel like just, you know, being around him, you would just, you know, inhale wisdom in some way or form. But it's just I'm very passionate about that man in a way that it's just, I actually just came from pre-ordering his vinyl and getting tickets to a secret show to see him here in Nashville. So that's a timely question for me too.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of vinyl, Mr. Michael Stover that you work with that helped us set up this interview, I'm sure today, is awesome. I mean, he's from MTS Management. We've been working together for over 3 years now. Love the man. He asked a question today on Facebook for the new artist. Are you guys thinking about selling your CDs on vinyl now? I guess it wouldn't be CDs, that'd be albums, but are you thinking about doing something on vinyl? And he's wanting to see what kind of feedback he's going to get, because, man, that sure is making a comeback right now, isn't it?
Honestly, man, it's like my favorite format that's ever been in existence. I've been an avid collector. I inherited like my grandparents' collection, and my dad used to work for a radio station. They were like, "Hey, we're reformatting. Do y'all want this?" And I was like, "Yes, please."
Please.
And so it was like, I love it. I would love to do that. I've done 2 records now, and I've wanted to do them both on vinyl, but I just ran out of the funding for it because it is expensive. Like, you're paying for like something that is so niche right now and cool, so they can kind of charge whatever they want for it. But
right.
I did get an email from him today about that, where like apparently it's not as expensive. So I would love to print the Things I Need to Say record on vinyl. Like, honestly, it's a dream of mine to have. And I asked someone at a music convention one time, I was like, "Hey, would y'all do like a test pressing?" And they were like, "Nice try, dude." And I was like, you got me. I just wanted one for myself.
Yeah. I tell you what, we go in some of these antique stores in Branson. They got a bunch of craft malls down there and stuff, and there's just all kind of cool vinyl. And we got one over here sitting just to the right of me of Johnny Cash. Man, there's nobody better in country music, dead or alive, than that man.
Oh man, he was such a trendsetter. There's never been anyone who's been so themselves.
Yep.
Like that guy's a man.
I emulate myself a little bit after Johnny Cash. You know how he would get up on stage and he would say, "Hello, I'm Johnny Cash."
Yeah.
I kind of do that. I say, "Hello, I'm out of cash."
Hello, I'm out of cash.
That's actually how I live, too.
Throw the tip bucket down there in front of the stage. That's a good one. I like that.
We have a tip jar on the website. It's on the homepage way down at the bottom. Nobody ever hits it, but anyway.
Well, there you go. That's good advertising.
Yeah,
Y'all
that's
tip
right.
these lovely people. What's wrong with you?
That's it. Come on, people. Help a brother out. Well, something that I wanted to talk about, too, since you mentioned Chris Stapleton, and I didn't realize his struggle in Nashville, and he had, been pitching his music probably for a long, long time and finally made it. But there was another gentleman, and we're playing some of his new music, too. And it's pretty cool when they follow you on Twitter and ask you to play their songs and stuff. But his name was Buddy Jewell, and he pitched his stuff to Nashville for 10 years. And then it took him getting on this show called Nashville Star and winning that show to get a record deal. And, of course, Miranda Lambert finished 2nd or 3rd, and she's had a heck of a career, hasn't she?
Yeah, Casey Musgraves was also on that show.
There you go. I didn't know that... hang on, I'll think of his name here in just a second. There was another artist.
Chris Young.
Chris Young, there you go. That's who I'm trying to think of. Chris Young was on that show.
I think he won the first season. I think Chris Young won the first... Was it Buddy that won the first season?
I think Buddy won the first season.
I think that's right.
And then, like I said, Miranda Lambert was on that season. She won 2nd or 3rd, and she ended up having, more of a known career than he's had, still.
Yeah,
so.
which is funny. That's usually how those award shows work. Like, you always see the person, like, I think Kelly Clarkson and Carrie Underwood are the only 2 that have, like, actually won, that have done, like, big things,
Yeah. Well, let me ask you your opinion of those shows. Have you ever thought about doing one like NBC's The Voice or America's Got Talent or something like that? Because we have a lot of artists we play that were on those shows, and some didn't even win, and they're going on to just go on and make more music, Don't need a record deal, don't need a major label. They're doing better off without that, in fact, some of them.
Yeah, that's a hit or miss. It's some people. It depends on what you want out of your career. I've always found that the struggle that I go through, like I pretty much live my life week to week and month to month, and I make my money that way, and I work hard doing it, and I have since I started, and that's what keeps me growing. It keeps me growing as an artist, growing as a person. Like I become more of like who I'm supposed to be at the end of this, journey by doing that. It weathers you a bit, but you do emerge stronger on the other end. And a lot of people, like, I'm going to do this till I die, and that's just the way it is. But a lot of people, that do those shows, they're not thinking about longevity. They're thinking about, I would love to be famous, And some people do want to do it for a long time, but what bothers me the most about it isn't that people do it or that it exists. It's the contracts that come with them that get you.
Yeah.
Like, depending on, like, how far you get into the show, like, you get snagged. But if you're smart enough, there's some people who I heard about recently that did this, but you use the forward momentum that you get from just appearing on the show once and then put out a single or something. That way you're not contractually bound.
Exactly.
Like if you don't do the show, but like kind of use like you don't make it far enough, but you can use that to sell a single or something and maybe chart on iTunes.
Yep. Now I've even, like, performing on the CMA and different shows like that, those aren't paid gigs at the CMA Awards. They're doing it for the exposure. You go on the Tonight Show, they have a minimum that they're going to pay you. And it used to be when Johnny Carson was doing it, I think it was $250. So it's not a whole lot of money. But you're doing it for the exposure because, man, when you get on the Tonight Show, your song's been on the radio for a little bit, and you're just trying to get people to figure out who you are and to buy your music and, go see your shows, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's the thing, too. That stuff, and even, like, these radio interviews, like, this stuff pays for itself in own ways. Like, you shouldn't... That's the thing, too. At the end of the day, like, if I'm playing, like, a 4-hour gig, I'm going to ask somebody, it was like, how much does it pay? If I'm doing, like, a Tonight Show interview, I'm like, oh, heck yeah, I'll book the plane ticket. I'm not even going to ask how much it pays because I'm like, that pays itself off. Man, that stuff's great,
Absolutely.
We do this stuff because we love it,
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, you had a good lead-in for what you were saying here just a little bit ago. You kind of just go with the flow of things. This song that I want to play is called Making Things Up As I Go, and I do that here at the radio station, too. Because I load a full playlist of music, but, time's not going to allow us to play everything that we load, and that's a shame, but... we just kind of make it up as we go along, and we'll bebop around, and somebody will pop in the chat room, request a song, we'll get that loaded up, we'll play it for them. Today we do it 3 songs in a row. I don't think any other radio station, internet or otherwise, that I know of does a thing called Triple Play Thursday. We love to give you guys a lot of support, but not only that, we're showing the diversity in your music. Some of you make great dance tunes, some of you make great ballads. We want to showcase all of that on one show, and that's what we do on Thursdays. It's pretty neat.
I like it, yeah, and the making things up as I go thing is too cool. I mean, it's cool too because life is just improvisational sometimes.
Right. Yep, that's exactly right. Well, we're going to play that, and then I want to come back and talk about songwriting because you write in a unique in the way you title your songs, and I want to talk about that. Folks will get it here in just a little bit, but we're going to play Mr. Jeremy Parsons right now, Making Things Up As I Go, and man, I could talk to you all day. We're having a good time right here on Indie Country Radio on Triple Play Thursday.
At my front door, and I hope it goes my way. And if it doesn't, well then there's nothing I could have done. Ain't nothing I
control. I learn more the more that I move further through this life. Well, don't you know we're all just making it up. We're all just making it up. We're all just making it up as we go. As we go, yeah.
His name is Jeremy Parsons, live with us right now on Indie Country Radio, making things up as we go. And like I said, we love to do that here at Indie Country Radio. You just never know how the show's going to go. You know, sometimes you'll have a different direction that you attention when you loaded your playlist. And you, like I said, you got people come in, request other music. It's good. We're going to play it. You know, it's just crazy how it goes around here. Every day's different. And that's why we love doing these interviews, too. And we love talking to you so far, man. You're awesome.
You're awesome, man. I'm happy to be here.
We appreciate it. Your music is awesome. That's what we love. And let me ask you, though, about songwriting, because like I've said many times, over 99% of our artists, almost 100%, write their own music at some point. And you do that as well. Tell me about your songwriting style. Is it something you can sit down and in 30 minutes and finish from start to finish, or how do you do it? You get up at 3 in the morning with an idea and have to write that down and finish it later?
I honestly think it's so like I treat songwriting like it's my job, but it's like a relationship that I have because I'm in love with my craft.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if I have to wake up at 3 a.m. because I have a song idea, like if the song's that good, like I do it. I mean, I think the answer is all of the above because it's I always, one of my favorite things was Willie Nelson said it. You know, he's always out in the ether. He said it's like the song finds you sometimes, and I heard that and I was like, you know, that's ridiculous, and he probably smoked a lot before he said it, but it's so true. You know, it's like
and
these
while
ideas.
he performed it, maybe too. Who knows?
yeah, absolutely. But he was right, I guess, is the point. Like whatever he was saying, he was right, because it's you know, I get these ideas that'll pop into my head. It's a melody, and the words will come with it. And usually, when that happens, I can sit down, I can knock it out in under an hour. But sometimes you'll get halfway through, and you're like, I don't think I'm ready to finish this one yet. I'll come back to it when the second half makes more sense, because you want it to be perfect. Like when I finish writing a song, I'm usually, like, I never have to change it because I'm completely satisfied with it. And when you're completely satisfied with it, you deliver it like it's just already the finished product, and everyone's able to connect with it.
Right.
So it does all the work itself sometimes, you know.
Well, that's a cool thing about songwriting, and absolutely, you are correct, man. Sometimes the song just writes itself, and you know, and people pitch you songs maybe too, and. What's it like to put your words or put your heart into somebody else's words on a piece of paper? If you've ever done that, you know, maybe you've sang somebody else's song.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys, and people give me grief for it sometimes. But every song that I've ever released was like everything was written 100% by me. But usually, like, I have friends that either they like the way my voice sounds or something, and I've sang demos before, and that's really fun. That's for me, it's like an exercise, because a lot of people cut other people's songs, and I don't have anything against it. I'm very much like a singer-songwriter is where I put myself in the genre of Americana, so it's easier for me to tell my own story sometimes.
There you go.
But in those situations, singing demos is kind of like being an actor. You have to, like, assume another role, get into the headspace of, like, where the song is, like, who you pitching it to. Like, it's this fun little game. As far as being an artist goes, it's a good little exercise, and I actually thoroughly enjoy it, too.
Yeah. I'm the same way with doing voice work, commercials and different things like that. I love those things. People don't like to hear them necessarily on the radio. We talked about that, off the air. You hear 14 commercials and 2 songs, then they're back to more commercials, not more music. A lot of mainstream stations, we're not like that, but commercial delivery is about acting. You got to put yourself in that position, and really throw your voice out there to get those people to want to buy that product. And
yeah, you got to sell it.
It's called voice acting for a reason. It's acting.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's a thing too. It's a lot of people's passion and stuff too. So it's kind of fun to just delve into it for a little bit, because I know it's not my most comfortable place to go. So It's kind of nice to step outside of that box for a little bit.
Well, I want to ask you one thing, because when I look in the library and I see these different songs that you sent, and there's a bunch of them in there, they're all good, no doubt about that, but the titles are what's interesting to me, because I'm going to play Life and I'm going to play Hope, but those are just the titles of the songs, simple one-word titles. You've got another one called Circumstance, another one called Purpose. What are you thinking about when you got to sit down and write a song about life or hope or circumstance?
So it's thematically, like, the record was about a very transitional phase in my life, and Purpose is a great example of this. Like, a lot of people, they're kind of just, they're so focused on work. But at the end of the day, you sit down, you're like, what am I doing? What is my purpose? Stuff like that. And then hope emerges. They all kind of go together. Like, life is a thing that I was dealing with at the time, and it's just so and when you write a song, you're kind of like trying to think of a title, because you don't this is funny too, but like, as far as a product goes, you don't want the whole back of the CD to be one song title that's like a paragraph long or something.
Yeah.
So you want something short, but one of the funny thing about that, I wrote those songs and I was like, man, this is easy. I'll just call this one Hope. I'll just call this one Purpose. It was like part of the song Finding Me, and thematically, like, things I need to say, those were right on the money.
Yeah.
So this product was kind of just like, I guess, sent to me when I needed it as musical therapy, because I was, life happens and you go through a lot. You make it up as you go. You try to find your purpose. You keep trying to hold on to it,
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just all thematic, but it's I love when the title can just be one word and it just says it all.
Yeah, I do too, and but yours are unique, because we've actually got like 4 or 5 songs in there with the title just called Drive, so from the same artist. Now, if that song's ever going to be a hit, I don't know how this all works, but I know one thing you got to do is probably protect the rights to that title, right? Somehow, licensing.
Absolutely, yeah. Make sure that, like, and that's the thing too. Like, when you do like copyrights and stuff, like, you don't ever want to leave anything out. Like, you need creation dates, you need your lyrics attached to those, because if someone goes is like, yeah, I mean, you can't copyright just one word and like claim it. Like, you can't call your song Drive because my song's called Drive. I was like, that's not, like, if you rip that song off, then there's an issue there, of course, but like, you can't claim a word. Like, you didn't invent the word drive. So it's like,
that's good to know. See, and that teaching me something, because I was like, how did those artists all, make their song one word, because we have several of those. We got a couple of songs called Simple Life. We played one last week from Ashley Wineland, and there's another gentleman has a song called Simple Life too. So, they're not trying to steal each other's titles or nothing like that. It just happens. There's so much, that's the thing too, is about so much songs out there and people writing constantly. And as a songwriter, you probably have maybe several hundred songs in the library that you haven't even put together yet or recorded. And, picking a title and choosing what you're going to put on that CD is probably one of the hardest things you do, isn't it?
Oh, it's tough. I have my I write so frequently. My catalog, I have over 1,000 songs that people have never heard.
There you go.
So it's like one of those things, and like, I can't. It'll probably, by the time I'm dead, it'll be like 8,000 songs that no one has ever heard. So, because it's like, you're always writing.
You're going to be like Willie Nelson. You're going to still be performing live in front of folks at 82, 83 years old. There's where you're going.
Oh, I would love to, man. I want to get to that. That's my dream stage. I've seen him play about, like, 2 or 3 times, and I always look. The first time I went with my dad, and I'm like, Dad, that's what I'm shooting for. He was like, what, to be like old and on stage with the beat up guitar? I'm like, yes, but also that dude is rocking New Balances right now.
Yeah, there you go.
When do you get to the point in your career where you don't have to wear dress shoes on stage anymore? You're just up there in Keds. Like, that's the goal right there, dream status.
He was supposed to be here at the big arena here in Springfield, Missouri. It's called the JQH Arena, and he was supposed to perform on a Friday night with Merle Haggard. Merle passed away a few days before they were supposed to perform here live. Mr. Jamie Johnson took Merle's place, went on stage, and could barely make it through the show because he was singing Merle's songs, you know, and that had to be a tough gig, but, you know, the show must go on, one of them kind of deals, so kudos to Willie on that, too.
Dude, and that's the thing about Jamie. That guy is he's a purist and a traditionalist, and he gets it. Like, he gets why music is made, like what music did for him. And Merle was one of those guys that was, you know, a huge mentor to him, like through the speaker system. Like it wasn't as he was like Merle's one of the best. He was one of the best writers, man. Like his stuff was so catchy.
Yep.
Like it still is. Like you go back and listen to the stuff that he did with the Strangers back in the day, and Willie too, man. Like that guy. Like, he wrote Crazy. Like, that arrangement of that song is nuts, and it's beautiful, and more beautiful when Patsy sings it, of course.
Right.
But, like...
Well, his son Marty Haggard is coming here to Branson, Missouri, and going to be performing a duet and all that with Rhonda Vincent, who's the queen of bluegrass. We love her as well. We got some of her music in duets with Richard Lynch, who you've talked about, and different artists, but... I'm going to have to miss that show because I have to work every weekend now again, and I absolutely hate that about, you know, doing what I do. I love to go meet the people. That's why we love doing radio, is meeting you guys.
Yeah, that is fun. Working is fun, too.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
that's the thing. Yeah, you got to take the good with the bad,
I do
guess.
security.
Yeah.
I do security on a golf course. It's a tough gig, man. I hate it. No. It's all right.
It's always so green and beautiful. It's terrible.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're going to have a tough time Friday night, Saturday morning trying to chase a white ball around with 3 inches of snow on the ground, that's for sure.
That's true. It is tough. You're just swinging at everything.
Let me ask you this question. Can you hang around for 5 more minutes so I can play this song called Life, and then we'll come back and talk about where your folks can get their hands on it?
Man, you could have me for 5 more hours.
All right, we appreciate it. We can't possibly do that, but the program won't let us. It's not me. It would cut us off the air, but we're going to get Jeremy Parsons on right now. The song is called Life. We'll come back and talk a little bit more and find out about where you guys can find him.
The only dreams I've had have been in the daytime. Anything to get away from the straight line that I walk. With all the medicated masses, creative minds outlined in chalk. I've always bordered on the edge of something. My mind goes where very few dare to tread. Is it wrong that I'm dying, trying hard to live? So I bend and break my back for a world that just won't give a little bit. With doors closed on open minds, and you can be comfortable, but you ain't safe inside. No, we'll never make it. Oh, you'll never make it out alive. No, we never make it out of this crazy thing called life. Just another puppet on the public string. Whatever happened to being who you wanna be? It's all so irrational with unrealistic views. They light the hoop on fire and expect you to jump through. With doors closed on open minds, and you can be comfortable, but you ain't safe inside. No, we never make it. Oh, we never with doors closed on open minds. And you can be comfortable, but you ain't safe inside. No, we'll never make it. No, we'll never make it out alive. No, we'll never make it out of this crazy thing called life. Yeah, this crazy thing called life. Yeah, this crazy thing called
His name is Jeremy Parsons. How about that song right there called Life? And man, the ending is just totally different, Jeremy. I played that the other day, and I was like, man, I've never heard nothing like this before. You were just having fun, wasn't you?
Oh, yeah, we did. It was like, well, because I love that guitar solo, and I was like, can we get weird at the end? And they were like, absolutely. So I got a harmonica microphone and just started humming and just, doing whatever came into my head and out of my mouth.
Well, it turned out great, man, and absolutely. And a one-song title, and to be that unique, there's just nothing else like it. So even though you can't own the one-word titles, not one song, but one word, that you can't own those titles, you definitely own that song. You definitely owned it.
Thanks, man.
You bet. Let me ask you this real quick. Where can folks go to find your music that would be the easiest way to do it? I'm looking at it right now, but tell them where they can find you and purchase it.
Yeah, the best place to go and find me anywhere is JeremyParsonsMusic.com, and that'll take you to my music. It's got all the links to iTunes or Spotify. Like, if you want to go and follow me on Spotify, like, that's always easier for people these days if you don't want to go buy something. And I'm not one of those guys who be like, please buy it instead. But if you want to buy it, of course, I'm not, twist my arm,
Right,
but
exactly.
It's about getting the music out there. But yeah, you can find me anywhere on JeremyParsonsMusic.com. It'll take you to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything. And my music store is up there, and there's T-shirts and koozies as well.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, if you wouldn't be opposed to sending Brenda Corbin a few of those, and you guys can hook up on Twitter here in just a little bit. You followed her here just a little bit ago on Twitter. We're doing this thing tomorrow called Freebie Friday, and I just got this wild hair the other day to maybe put this together. If you would like to donate a koozie or two or a hat or whatever, maybe one of your CDs that we could give away on Friday, what we're going to do is whoever comes into the chat room, let's say it's the 5th person that comes in the chat room, maybe the 7th, the 10th, whatever, that person's going to say, I want to win Jeremy Parsons' koozie today, and we're going to give it to them, and we'll have them PM us their address and everything like that. If you'd like to donate a few things, we'd love to give it away for you.
Yeah, heck yeah. You want me to go ahead and I can send them to y'all, or is that how you want to do it? Or?
Yeah. If you'll send them to us, we'll send them to the listener, and we'll get all their information, and we're going to do that every Friday. We're going to give some cool merch away.
Well, Well, heck yeah, I'll send y'all a couple things.
We appreciate it. I knew you were an awesome guy. Man, you've been fun to talk to. We're way over time on the interview, but that don't matter. We don't have commercials to play or none of that stuff. We've had a great time today, and I thank you for doing it. And do me a favor and be sure, and I know I'm doing it right now too, and I'll tag him in it, but thank Mr. Michael Stover for taking good care of you too and setting up this interview, because he is one of the best promoters out there. He has some good artists he works with, and man, I'm sure he's glad to have you on his team too.
Oh, he really is great, and it's an honor to work with him. He's one of the hardest working guys I know, and yeah, I'm stoked that we got to talk today, man. This was a lot of fun.
Sure was.
It's always great when it doesn't feel like work.
That's right. It's absolutely a blast. My best 2-3 hours of the day, depending on what kind of a show I'm going to go. I said I might do 2 today, but I might go 3 now. We only got about a half hour left, so it's been a blast, man. Come back anytime. There's something new that you want to promote out of those 1,000 songs you got in the library. If you get some out there that you want to pitch to us, definitely do that, and we'll talk again, all right?
Absolutely, man. I'll be looking forward to it. Thanks so much again for having me.
You bet. Mr. Jeremy Parsons on Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best. This is called Hope, the third song in the Triple Play on Triple Play Thursday.
I never planned on running into you, so here I am, thrown off by a beautiful truth. I didn't see you coming, so I couldn't plant my feet. And now my heart's doing something to an old familiar beat. This man is strong, but this man's been struck down hard, trying to hold on, trying to keep up my guard. I tell myself that it's too soon, but there's really no defense. I hate to place the blame, but it's your fault I feel like this. Stop being so damn perfect. Stop being so damn kind. I'll give you the time you need with the hope that you'll be mine. I never thought I'd have to think it through like this. Didn't put up walls just to let someone new in. All the things I said I would, and I suddenly start to do. And I'm not one for pointing fingers, but it's all because of you. Stop being so damn perfect. Stop being so damn kind. I'll give you the time you need with the hope that you'll be mine. No, I ain't angry at you, darling. It's quite the opposite, in fact. I'm just scared of losing something I guess I never really had. But you can't help being so damn perfect. You can't help being so damn kind. I'll give you the time you need with the hope that you'll be mine. Yeah, I'll give you the time you need, even if you won't be mine.
If he don't play that song, I'm gonna spit some chaw in his eye.
You're listening to the 2016 Nashville Universe Awards Radio Network of the Year, Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best.
Don't you dare believe I'm weak, my nerves are steel. Go ahead, look down on me, I don't care what you think. Tight blue jeans are no doubt hot, mixed buckles and boots and a really good shot. Guns and glitter are my favorite thing. A girl with grit is fierce but sweet. I have a pistol in my purse, was hitting bullseye as a little girl. I can hold my own when you run your mouth. Be assured I won't back down. My mama said stand tall, look nice. Daddy taught me how to fight. Pink and pretty, I'll pull that trigger. I won't give up my guns and glitter. Life can get ugly, but sparkle drowns it out. You think girly can't be strong, but you're wrong, so wrong. My aim is better than most boys. I shoot with grace and poise. Guns and glitter are my favorite thing. A girl with grit is fierce but sweet. I have a pistol in my purse, was hitting bullseye as a little girl. I can hold my own when you run your mouth. Be assured I won't back down. My mama said stand tall, look nice. Daddy taught me how to fight. Pink and pretty, I'll pull that trigger. I won't give up my guns and glitter. I can blast that target, don't you know? A little bit gaudy but perfectly nice. A southern belle done right. My mama said stand tall, look nice. Daddy taught me how to fight. Pink and pretty, I'll pull that trigger. I won't give up my guns and glitter. Short, I won't back down. My mama said stand tall, look nice. Daddy taught me how to fight. Pink and pretty, I pull that trigger. I won't give up my guns and glitter. Oh, pink and pretty, I pull that trigger. I won't give up my guns and glitter.
Don't give up your guns or your glitter, ladies and gentlemen. Her name is Casey Carney, KCK Music, if you want to find her on what we call the Big Twitter Machine. And you'll be able to find her live next week on Indie Country Radio. I'm going to be doing a great radio interview with her as well. To see our live interview schedule, you head over to our website, indiecountryradio.net. Click that More tab on the right. Drop down to the live interview schedule. We are totally booked for next week, too. Going to be fun. Tomorrow, I'll be speaking live with the one and the only Hoss. That is right, HOSSSATX, if you want to find him on Twitter as well. He is from San Antonio, Texas, too. Miss Casey Carney, one more time. Easier said than done on today's country from Indie Country Radio. New Country's Best on this Triple Play Thursday.
Drop 10 pounds for a wedding next week. Easier said than done. Explain to the boss why I slept late. Easier said than done. Trying to be patient while I wait. Easier said than done. Let my kids learn from their mistakes. Easier said than done. Anybody can say what I need blessing or curse, easier said than done. Forgive and let go, give up control, easier said than done. Anybody can say what I need to do. Tell me what they do in my shoes. Good intentions roll off the tongue, but getting over you, it's easier said than Of all the things I've been through, this is the hardest to accept. Not saying what I need to, I wanna beg you to stay. Don't know how this ever happened, or how deep the pain can get. They say it's time to move on, but that's easier said than done. Anybody can say what I need to do. Tell me what they do in my shoes. Good intentions roll off the tongue, but getting over you, getting over you, it's easier said than done.
It's an adventure into the unknown. A possible psychedelic experience. But one thing's for sure, you'll find everyone. Good times, great music.
It's all online. Stream them online. Listen all day. Absolutely. That's what we do.
Broadcasting worldwide from his basement.
In the basement! 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 Up to the basement! In the basement! In the basement!
We've been cleared for takeoff.
You're listening to Tim Kelly
On Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best.
Precious moments like these are what I live for. All my babies snuggled up on the floor. It's Friday night, movie time, and I'm loving every minute, listening to all their giggles and the characters they mimic. How can I stop the clock so this never goes away? How can I be sure it stays etched in my brain? Sweet child of mine, do you know the joy you bring? You make simplicity enchanting. Y'all couldn't make it through the movie. Long week, late night, put you right to sleep. The rhythm of your breathing's like a sweet symphony. Why don't I take the time more to soak up these things? How can I stop the clock so this never goes away? How can I be sure it stays etched in my brain? Sweet child of mine, do you know the joy you bring? You make simplicity enchanting. Holding your hand never gets old. From the day you were born till you were too big to hold, I keep you in my heart wherever I go. How can I stop the clock so this never goes away? How can I be sure it stays etched in my brain? Sweet child of mine, do you
Once again, her name is Casey Carney. KCK Music on the Big Twitter Machine. A great tune called Enchanting. Wrapping up another triple play on this Triple Play Thursday. Well, this next band has our featured song of the week. That'll be coming up next. Let's do another great ballad right now. This is called Breathless from the Lewis Hill Project on Today's Country from Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best.
Way that moon sitting up in that sky takes me back to that night I picked you up at 8. It was our first date. We went beachfront cruising in my old man Chevy. Down by the ocean, things got heavy. We were 17. We were wild and free, yeah. But I ain't seen you in forever. I always think of you this time of year. Love was reckless, 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 baby. You drove me crazy, crazy, crazy in that backseat. That summer sun was gone and you left me breathless. The sound of those waves crashing on that shore, your golden skin and your long hair blowing in the wind, fire in your kiss, with that moon shining on that sea, matched the color in your eyes of green. We were chasing stars off into the night. See those footprints in the sand. Takes me back to that time again. Love was reckless, 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 baby. You drove me crazy, crazy, crazy in that backseat. That summer sun was gone and you left me breathless. Time of year. Love was reckless, 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 baby. You drove me crazy, crazy, crazy in that backseat. That summer sun was gone and you left me breathless.
The featured song of the week is next on Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best.
In the middle of nowhere, took a left till we ran out of pavement. The old dirt roads was our final destination. Turned the dial, checked the FM stations. Those dash lights set the mood right, baby. You and me getting backseat crazy. Yeah, it feels so right. And every song that played on the radio that night said everything I needed to say. kiss and know you look so good in love. Ain't nothing better than George Strait. Didn't have to speak a word that night. We let the radio play. We let the radio play. Time flies, we woke up to sunrise, hungover from the love of last night. I pushed the hair away from your eyes. Look at you, baby, glowing in the sunshine. Little walk down by the creek side, flowers in your hair, skinny dipping on my mind. Hang your tank top on that limb. Come on, baby, let's jump right in. Every song that played on the radio that night said everything I needed to say. Chick, kiss and know you look so good in love. Ain't nothing better than George Strait. Didn't have to speak a word that night. Let the radio play. Song that played on the radio that night said everything I needed to say. Chick, kiss and know you look so good in love. Ain't nothing better than George Strait. Didn't have to speak a word that night. No. Let the radio play.
That is our featured song of the week. They are the Lewis Hill Project, and you can check out the song all week long on every live show, but when we're not live on the air, it is available for play anytime with the media player button on IndieCountryRadio.net. Just hit that More tab on the right, click down to Featured Song of the Week for the Lewis Hill Project. Awesome, awesome song. Let the radio play. Well, let's keep doing that right now. Whiskey Miss Me is the title of this one from the Lewis Hill Project to complete the triple play on today's country from Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best.
Phone's lighting up in the dead of the night. You hit me up 'cause you're feeling alright. You're downtown, you don't wanna drink alone. You know what it does to me when I get a taste of your misery. The way that you scream out my name. So go hang up the phone, go call a ride to drive you home, 'cause I know you leave me drunk in your rear view, hung over in the morning needing more. You don't say you wanna stay the night, then dip out when the time is right. Girl, it kills me when you say you wanna kiss me, 'cause I know you just whiskey miss me. You light up another cigarette, then you take something that you might regret. If I call you, 'cause I'm a little wasted. Last time we lit a wildfire and swept all across the mountainside. Such a tragic, beautiful disaster.
'cause I know you just whiskey miss me. Sleep it off, don't call back. I don't wanna feel like that. Burn so good, hurt so bad. Whiskey miss me. Sleep it off, don't call back. I don't wanna feel like that. Burn so good, hurt so bad. Whiskey miss me. Go hang up the phone. Go call a ride to drive you home. 'Cause I know you leave me drunk in your rear view. Hung over in the morning, need to know you. Don't say you wanna stay the night, then dip out when the time is right. Girl, it kills me when you say you wanna kiss me. 'Cause I know you just whiskey miss me. Sleep it off, don't call back. I don't wanna feel like that. Burn so good, hurt so bad. Whiskey miss me. Sleep it off, don't call back. I don't wanna feel like that. Burn so good, hurt so bad. Whiskey miss me.
Indie Country Radio is the one-stop shop for indie artists, from logo design to artist promos that you can send to any station. You create the music and we create the ways to get it heard. To find out how to take your music to the next level, send an email to indiecountryradio@yahoo.com. Let our proven system work for you. Find out why Indie Country Radio is truly New Country's best.
Boss man, cut a check's been a while since you cut loose. There's a 20X in your closet next to your boots. Somewhere there's a jukebox playing a chestnut song. Oh, tell me how do you honky tonk? Got a brand new set of mud tires on your truck. A full tank of gas, been a while since you got stuck. You just picked her up, it's been raining all day long. Oh, tell me how do you honky tonk? Tell me how do you honky tonk? Do you like to play possum or roll the stone? Do it your way, whether it's right or wrong. Tell me how do you honky tonk? Six string on your porch. Do you stand on stage and carry that neon torch? Oh, do you face the congregation while you sing a Sunday song? Tell me how do you honky tonk? Tell me how do you honky tonk? Possum, roll that stone. Do it your way, whether it's right or wrong. Yeah, tell me how do you honky tonk? How do you honky? That's pretty right there, boy. Tonk.
That is Jake Worthington from season number 6 of NBC's The Voice, another great Texas artist. And how do you honky tonk? Well, I'm not sure I have the answer to that question, but I know that's how you sing a song about it for sure. Isn't he good? Mr. Jake Worthington. Let's do a couple of more before it's time to go. Mr. Jake Worthington one more time. This is called Friends. You can find Jake on his Twitter account, JDW Worthington. You can find him live right now on Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best, on Triple Play Thursday.
Just one more drink, you would have ran right through that traffic light. But he slammed on his brakes in the nick of time. As a vintage Mustang passed on the other side, it was a souped up kind. Got him to thinking back at the bar before he left, when a friend said, man, just one more beer, someone will end up dead. That time he listened and he sat that bottle down. His home was on the far side of town. Friends, they'll tell you when you're wrong, no matter what the cost, they don't mean any harm. 'Cause what just happened sure sent his heart sinking. Friends, dry friends to thinking. Stumbled through the front door, then he sat down in his chair as he heard Dad, gotta come outside, you gotta get out here and see what Grandpa bought me. I can't believe it's mine. That old souped up Mustang 65. Friends, they'll tell you when you're wrong, no matter what the cost, they don't mean any harm. 'Cause what just happened sure sent his heart sinking. Friends, dry friends to thinking. Friends, they'll tell you when you're wrong, pick you up when you fall, yeah, they're with you through it all. What just happened has got me believing that friends, dry friends to thinking.
From season number 6 of NBC's The Voice, Team Blake all the way to the semifinals from the state of Texas, Mr. Jake Worthington, JDW Worthington on the big Twitter machine, and a great tune called Friends. Well, I want to thank all my friends for listening out there in Radio Land. What a great day it was today. Man, I could talk to Mr. Jeremy Parsons all day long. We had a great time. Follow him on Twitter and find him on his website, jeremyparsonsmusic.com. Buy his merchandise, buy his CDs, and absolutely love talking to him. Great stuff. Tune in tomorrow. I'll be live with the one, the only Haas from San Antonio, Texas as well. We hit the airwaves at 11 o'clock Central Time. Then the interview will take place at 11:30. And don't forget the Rise and Shine show with Miss Brenda Corbin, first thing in the morning, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great day.
There's an echo in this room. just won't let me be. All the angry words to her, they keep coming back to me. I can hear them in the hall. Yeah, they're bouncing off the wall. I can't believe it's come to this. All this emptiness and a lot of room to talk. I should have listened more to her. Lord, when she was still around, I guess I got what I deserved. I sure do hear her now. What good is pride now that she's gone? When did our house stop being home? Now there's too many what ifs, opportunities I missed, and a lot of room to talk. I always thought she'd be around. I never planned on missing her. But in this new life that she's found, it's left me lost for words. There's an echo in this room until it goes away. I'll look into the past and learn from my mistakes. I'll admit it when I'm wrong. I'll find the strength and I'll move on. Maybe I can grow from this, but for now it's emptiness and a lot of room to talk. Oh, maybe I can grow from this, but for now it's emptiness and a lot of room to talk.